This video is sure to ruffle a few feathers, but regardless, what we have on screen here are two bell curves, and as you can, I'm sure, read, it is the IQ distribution for black people and white people as labeled. So basically the way this chart works is the height, so up here and right here, basically that's quantity. So right here is 50th percentile, so the most people fall into this category here, most white people, and as you come out to the sides, that's fewer and fewer people. And obviously the bottom is IQ score, so basically if you have 100 people, this isn't a normal distribution, but you'd have the most people falling, in between here and here, and then fewer people between here and here, and the fewest people out on the edges. That's basically what you need to know for the bell curve. And basically, the question is this chart racist? And to that, I would say no, absolutely not. The chart, it's just the fact. It's stating that basically the average IQ for white people is right around 105, and the average IQ for black people is right around 85 or 82 or right in there. And there's nothing racist about that. Whether or not you believe IQ is important, right? I'm not gonna judge anybody really based on their IQ. It's just not relevant to me how smart people are, how smart my friends are. It's more what's more important to me is what they believe and what they think is right and wrong, how steadfast they are in their beliefs, and that type of thing. That's another video to get into what I value in people. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, when a chart like this begins to become racist, if that makes any sense, or when it's used in a racist way, is when people will judge individuals based on the information in this chart. So if I were to be approached by a black person and I were to say, well, you know what, this guy's an idiot because that's what this chart says, right? This chart says the average IQ is whatever it is. So this guy must be an idiot. That's racist. When you use this information to judge an individual, that's when it becomes racist. And the reason it becomes racist is because you have these things called outliers, right? You have black people and white people, that are exceptionally intelligent over here. And there's no basis in reality. There's absolutely no reason for you to say or for you to assume that any person falls at any point throughout here. There's no reason that who I'm seeing or who I'm meeting isn't here. There's no reason they aren't here. There's no reason they aren't here. Well, if you're over here, you need like assistance to function as a human, but that's besides the point. So that you can assume that. But anyway, there's no reason to say that someone's here, that someone's here, that someone's here. This chart has nothing to do with an individual. It's a judgment of a group as a whole, and for me to say, oh, this person's white, they must be of greater intelligence, also false. There's no reason they aren't over here. There's no reason they aren't over here. There's also no reason they aren't exceptionally intelligent. So that's when this information or when this chart can be used in a racist manner, and really that's just ignorant. Somebody who's doing that is obviously not as intelligent as somebody who can understand that this chart actually has no bearing on individual intelligence. And whether or not IQ is a good measure of intelligence, that's a whole nother argument. Whether or not it's biased, the test is biased based on race in the first place, whole nother conversation that's really not relevant to me. I don't care about IQ that much, but the reason I'm making this video is because racism is such a hot topic in today's culture, and people generally don't have a good idea of the framework in which they should view racism. For instance, a lot of people will just look at this chart and say that's racist because it says that two races are different. That is not racist. This is fact, and it is what it is. Again, like I said, whether or not it actually means anything, Another conversation, one that I probably won't even get into. I'm not gonna make a video on IQ. I mean, maybe I will, but there's just no reason. But I think it's important to put this issue into a legitimate framework